Better aesthetic than Slay the Spire? I've never had a problem with Slay the Spire, and I'm like aesthetically blind in all games. I can never tell you which game looks great, which game looks bad. I derive no pleasure from that. However, I think the art in this game is very charming. I think this is... I normally am not like a big Adventure Time aesthetic sort of guy. This is an exception to the rule. I think this is on Switch too. It's so good I've almost tricked myself into buying it on Switch, despite the fact that I don't play video games outside of the stream because I got a lot of other stuff going on. Do you think this game is unbalanced? Honestly, I just want you to know, I know I've said this on and off for 10 years. I'm so sick of like talking about video games. I think there's actually like a virus in the human brain. And it's like doing my hobby for some reason for a lot of people is not like the highest level of actualization. The actualization peak is talking about doing your hobby. So like rather than like be golfing, you're like the only thing I love golfing. The only thing I love more than golfing is eating lunch and talking about golfing. So that in and of itself, I think is totally fine. But the problem is talking about video games is like so much worse than actually playing a video game. Like when I play video games, I'm mostly like having fun. Then people are like, you know, what are your thoughts? Do you think that the gnome moose in Wild Frost should have his damage nerfed by 2 or have aimless removed? I'm like, brother, you're asking me what color they should paint Jango Fett's boots on the new Star Wars Series 300 action figures. Like, I just don't care. It's just not part of my... I'm playing with toys right now. I'm having fun. You got peanut butter in my chocolate. You got chocolate in my peanut butter. Oh, but should they have used a lighter amount of cocoa in the mix? I'm not. It's just pew, pew, pew. Pew, pew, pew. It's like when I was talking about Monster Hunters, or Niantic's new Monster Hunter game. The Reddit thread is just essay after essay about Niantic. And I'm like, brother, this is a lot of ink and paper for something you just boot up on your phone when you're walking to the grocery store and go like, oh, there's a Rathalos. Oh, I'm at the grocery store. I'm just going to put it in my pocket. Like I saw people in the thread that were like, I heard the battles are only 70 seconds long. That's not really authentic to Monster Hunter. Bro, it's a step counter. It's a step counter with like a little screen on top of it to trick you into like not thinking that you're just walking. What do you want them to do? Have a 20-minute outdoor raid? You don't like the weather, wait 10 minutes. You could get caught in the freaking atmospheric river. I don't want to stand there. You ever done a Pokemon Go raid against a Pokemon with like 60 power? Or 60,000 power? The most common criticism is, I wish this was shorter. You're literally standing there going... for like 180 seconds straight. If anything, 70 seconds sounds like a blessing. I wouldn't mind if every time you saw like a Rathalos, it was 10 seconds long. And you go bump, 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 bump. Very true, but maybe you make a friend. Then all my friend wants to talk about is, hey, did you check on r/the Sylph Road today and see that Niantic removed one super incubator from the adventure box and replaced it with a regular incubator? And I'm like, brother, we could be raiding right now. I'm still only level 34. You're out here level 50 talking about this game that you've put 3,000 hours in and also like, you know, completely changed your cardiovascular health. You know, I hate every second I boot up the app. Like, you gotta just... I'm very much not one of these turn off your brain, you can't criticize anything sort of guys. Well, it's just that with gaming, I'm like, listen, I get that it can be a higher art form as well, but for me, they're toys. So that's why I like, you know, in Dredge, when I stopped having fun with my toy, I put my toy back in the box. People are like, are you ever going to take that toy out of the box? And I'm like, why? I got He-Man in there. He's a master of the universe. He says by the power of Grayskull and doesn't care about anything. You want me to take out a 12 by 12 Rubik's Cube just so you can sit here and be like, you have the Ghost Shark is in quadrant 75? Would you play a Cheers deck builder if I made it? No. But I would play a Cheers deck builder if it came out and it was great, regardless of who made it. I don't want to say that I would play it just because you made it, because you might not know what you're doing. It might be bad. But if you make it and it's great, I would play it for sure. You really think I wouldn't add Vigilance to my Norm card? Flying Vigilance Norm? I don't have anything else to say. I was trying to think about a joke about Kirstie Alley, and then I figured this better left unsaid. Anyway, slash marker. Kirkland FPS? Dude, if they made... Oh, I was going to say if they made a Costco game, I would play it, but they already have a Costco game. It's called Wilmot's Warehouse. And I'll tell you how I played Wilmot's Warehouse. It's a game where every day you like choose how to organize a warehouse. Then you get a bunch of deliveries and you've got to organize them like as effectively as possible. And then they ask for things and you've got to bring it to them in a set amount of time. I played that for like 2 hours and I was like, this game's really good. And then it started to get too difficult. They added like way more shapes and colors. And then I turned it off. But you know what I didn't do? I didn't go to Reddit and type an essay. I missed when Wilmot's Warehouse. There should really be like a low impact mode for Wilmot's Warehouse so I can just endlessly expand my warehouse with only 3 different colors. Instead, I said, oh, that was pretty fun. And I put it away. I put it back in the toy box. Perhaps one day I'll come back to it. The internet is, I really think it's just too full of opinions sometimes. And I say I'm basically like a licensed opinion dealer. But like at some point, it's just, I'm just full. Kind of missed the days when like a movie would just come out. I mean, you can still do this. You just have to not be on the internet, which is also hard enough to do. But like nowadays, I know more about the movie industry than I've ever known. And I've seen less movies per annum than in my entire life since I was like 2 years old. You know how much shit I know about the Mario movie? I have not seen the Mario movie. I know every story beat that happens from the start of the movie to the end of the movie. I know how everybody feels about the movie. I know how everybody feels about the critics who said it was mid. I know how everybody feels about the people who said that they don't like the critics because the critics said it was mid. I've got all the discourse for them. Like, it's a 2-hour-long movie, and it just fed to me via social media algorithms is like 10 hours of Mario content every day. It's crazy. Stop spending 3 hours on Twitter every day. I'm not spending 3 hours on Twitter. I don't know how all this stuff's getting into my eyeballs. It's like I only see it when I poop. It's NBA basketball and Mario. People are like, log off, wake up at 6 a.m., take a poop, ride the Peloton for 90 minutes, take a shower, help my kid get ready for daycare, come here, stream, record 3 hours of Super Auto Pets, eat lunch, pick up my kid from daycare, we cook my kid dinner, play around with the toys. I'm He-Man, Master of the Universe by the power of Grayskull. Give the kid a bath, take the kid to bed, make my Adobe Photoshop thumbnails for YouTube, put them all up on YouTube. Then I'm like, oh, it's 9:45. I could have 15 minutes of free time, but instead I'm like, I'm just going to eat a bowl of cereal and go to bed. How does this all end up? That's how much you're getting exposed to it, even though I'm touching grass like 24/7. If anything, people on Twitch are like, you got to spend less time on Twitter. You fuckers got to spend less time on Twitter and then bring it into my Twitch chat. I'll just be having a good time. Oh, I think I'll play this totem here. Oh, I think I'll play Foxy here. And then people are like, hey, NL, did you see the tweet about the Mario movie? You keep that shit out of here. This is a quarantine zone. We don't use Twitter? Oh, you use Twitter. Sometimes people will pop in and they'll say, did you see the news about X streamer? And I'm like, I don't even know who X streamer is. You click on one tweet about them, all of a sudden the For You page is like their CV for their entire life. People on Facebook be like, don't go to iFunny. People on iFunny be like, don't go to Reddit. People on Reddit be like, oh, don't go to 4chan. People on 4chan be like, imagine going on Twitch. People on Twitch be like, imagine going on Twitter. People on Twitter be like, imagine going outside. It's just a snake eating its own tail, man. It never ends. People sitting inside a McDonald's going, gee, I'm so glad I'm not one of those fools eating at Burger King. They're getting their beef from the same industrial waste plant, okay? We're all in this together. Can't we just have fun with our toys? So I had to feel superior. Imagine being a Wild Frost pleb. I've been playing Ascension 20 Slay the Spire since 2017. I look like Rasputin. I haven't left my room except to pick up DoorDash orders since Fortnite came out. I was going to say a fortnight, but since Fortnite came out. Don't even start with me. Then you got the audacity to just type big ambitions. Out of nowhere, just in the middle of this rank, you just type big ambitions. How dare you? I will say Apollo came in and asked for chess. I promised him we would play some chess. But we're not going to do it today because it's 1:58 p.m. At some point, we will play some chess. You see the tweet about 14-year-old opinions? I hate that I have seen the tweet about 14-year-old opinions. I forget the paraphrase of it is like, one thing you got to remember on the internet is that at any point you could be exposed to a 14-year-old's opinion. I do think that there's a realistic chance that a lot of the stuff, the endless anger cycle that churns social media is usually caused by like one ninth grader making a tweet about how like, we have to take animated movies seriously. And then like some 35-year-old film studies major who graduated from Wesleyan in 2006 is like, they're always talking about Despicable Me when they say that. They're never talking about a Studio Ghibli film. And you're like, yeah, because they're 14. Despicable Me came out when they were 9. They saw it at a birthday party and it instantly became their favorite movie. Why are you quote tweeting and dunking on them for that? Shouldn't you be like doing your job and providing for your family right now instead of making fun of middle schoolers? That's my job. Your Cars take is not fair? Well, are we talking about Cars the movie or are we talking about Cars the machine? I think my take on Cars the machine is very fair. Which is, I wish that they'd never been invented, but now that they have, what are we supposed to do? Except drive. The world would probably be a better place if they never existed, but the genie's already out of the bottle on cars. We got all these roads. What are we going to do with them? Yes, she said Omega Lol. She must be watching right now. Are you watching right now? Hey! Are you watching me? Yes. POV, you're the FBI agent assigned to watch through my webcam instead of on Twitch for some reason. And then I Samara you. I climb through the webcam like this. Does this guy just browse menus? Look, I had 7 minutes to kill. I had to rant or something, okay? That's what I said. What I was going to say was it's better than your mom who just browses DoorDash menus. See, why are you making me say this fucked up shit? You know how hard it is to fight the impulse to insult the person who gave birth to you? Just because of one sarcastic comment? DoorDash joke is getting stale. Yeah, much like the HelloFresh box that's been sitting in the lobby of your apartment building ever since it arrived 4 days ago, and you keep telling people that, or you keep telling yourself you're going to pick it up tomorrow. Does everybody else have that same situation? Everyone's catching strays? No? Every apartment building I've ever lived in, once weekly, there is either a HelloFresh or like a Good Food or an Urban Spoon or whatever the heck it's called box that just sits in the lobby for like 8 days. And I assume at some point the like a caretaker comes in and just throws it away. My neighbors pick it up within a reasonable time. It's crazy there's meat in there. You shouldn't be letting it sit on your like apartment building's floor. I have had situations where like there's been DoorDash in our apartment buildings and the driver has just like left it on a table in the lobby. You come home from the grocery store and you're like, oh, somebody left their DoorDash. 4 days later, you're taking your kid to daycare. You're like, that fucking lentil soup is still there. Any DoorDash drivers in here? I bet like, if I had to guess, I bet 1 in 20 DoorDash orders results in you calling the phone of someone who's passed out drunk and being unable to complete the order. Unless they had the wherewithal to type like, just leave it at the door. I bet 1 in 20 DoorDash orders ends with somebody passing out and then you try to call them 20 times and they never answer, and then you just go, all right, I guess I'll just leave it here. Anyway, later. I only got 6 seconds. They're counting me down. What are you talking? I don't get you don't tell me when to stop streaming. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, click the like button. It helps out a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. For now, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. See ya.